morning, everybody. All right, let's see here. Morning, Sam. Swappy. What's up, everybody? All right, 1 second, guys. All right, so just giving everybody a few minutes. You guys hear me okay? Morning, one. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I had to get my scanner up, guys. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get to it. Hopefully, you guys had a great weekend. Hopefully, you guys didn't think about trading too much. Let's see here. All right, so right off the bat, guys, we've had a couple of different earnings over the weekend. Square. But we have a lot of weekends this morning, or a lot of weekends. We have a lot of earnings this morning and this afternoon, but really tomorrow kicking off the main headliners of this week. So I'm going to go over the news really quickly, just some top headlines. We're going to also keep in mind that we have some corporate events as well. So those can always and usually will affect the market, even if it's in anticipation. All right, so U.S. Senate here this morning is working to push that $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure deal to passage. The U.S. Senate will try to complete work this week on a $1 trillion infrastructure investment bill that would bring long-awaited improvements to roads, bridges, mass transit systems, and deliver a rare bipartisan victory to President Joe Biden. Twitter, we got some news with Dorsey. He's leading the $29 billion buyout of leading pioneer Afterpay. So Square, the payments firm Twitter, co-founder Jack, who will purchase buy now, pay later, pioneer after our $29 billion, creating a global transactions giant and the biggest buyout of an Australian firm. This is something to keep in mind, guys. I think Square is a dip buy. I don't know if anybody took a look at their earnings. I think we may have to do that after hours, but it has a nice gap. You didn't lose too much. It's 245. Drop down here to 240 range. I think you hit that 233 double bottom off. So you got a nice gap to fill. Midway through that gap, you have the 241.78 level, and then eventually, hopefully, retesting that 244. On the daily, this did put it outside of a channel. It has been trading in this channel for quite some time. So if it does end up continuing down, if the market just bleeds, maybe we see Square. But that usually don't like to buy dips after big pullbacks like that. But we'll see how this goes going into earnings. Let's see here. Hold on, I got alert on LAIX. What is this thing? Nothing to be concerned about. Baba looks terrible in pre-market. Okay, so aside from those, that news right there, let's see here. Pfizer and Moderna raised prices on COVID-19 vaccines in the EU. They will be raising their prices in their latest European contracts. U.S. stock futures rose as a $1 trillion infrastructure bill unveiled by U.S. senators raised hopes for more fiscal stimulus, while investors turn to manufacturer activity data due later this day to gauge the pace of domestic economic rebound. The strong earnings pushed European shares higher after a recovery in Asian equities overnight. In currencies, the dollar hit index was down, hovering just above a 1 month low, while the euro advanced. Oil prices were hit by concerns about Chinese demand, and oil prices slipped as improving risk appetite weighed on safe haven metals. So we already talked about Square. Trying to keep this relatively short, guys. We did have news on Discovery, Disca. Hey. Yeah, pretty sure you got the wrong house, my guy. I think somebody's climbing my house. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Maybe I should just let him do it. Anyway, so we did have news here. Disney as well, the company said on Friday that it's making vaccines mandatory in all of its off-site salaried and non-union hourly employees in the United States, as the highly infectious Delta COVID-19 variant drives a resurgence in cases. Employees who are already vaccinated and are working on the site will have 60 days from today to complete their protocols, and any employees still working from home will need to provide verification of vaccines. If you haven't noticed, a lot of companies are doing this. A lot. Probably pushed by some government force. Who knows? Anyway, Zoom Video Communications, the company has agreed to pay $85 million, bolster its security practices, settle a lawsuit claiming it's violated users' privacy by sharing personal data with Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. Letting hackers disrupt Zoom's meeting, in practice called Zoom bombing. Subscribers in the proposed class action would be eligible for a 15% refund on their core subscriptions of $25, whichever is larger. Oh yeah. Anyway. Okay, so we have economic data, guys, here today at 9:45. We've got market manufacturing, PMI. We've got construction spending, ISM manufacturing, prices paid, employment index, and new orders index, all reporting today as well. We have companies that looks like, reporting Take-Two, Mosaic, Diamondback Energy, American Waterworks, East Chemical, Simon Property Group, are some of the bigger ones, but nothing crazy. We do have On Semiconductors, who had earnings this morning. They have a Q2 conference call as well happening today. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Top gainers here this morning is Fastly, as far as like some of those movers, and then losers right now we have Neo and Jamia down quite a bit here. 1 second, METO. That's not moving. It's CRX. Interesting. Okay, I did talk about a couple different things last night, but I'm adding Roblox to the list. If you guys haven't seen my chart or didn't see it posted in Discord here, I am watching Roblox. One of the reasons why we've got a nice falling wedge here on the daily. Looks like good price consolidation. Earnings are right around the corner on August 16th. So enough time to maybe bounce. I would like to keep Roblox above the 75.50 level, but it does appear that it's being driven down in price going into earnings. So it's not always the worst thing either. I prefer whether we get one or the other. We either run up and I take profit before earnings, or we wait till after earnings and we move then. So Roblox is on watch. I've got the hourly up here right now. The previous day's high, I believe that was Friday. That is where the 200-day EMA is. That's at basically $80. You have 79.50 is the exact mark, and then 79.75 right up there at that high. So past 79.75 into the and of course we have a smaller time frame downtrend here as well. So hopefully if we see that break, or not even hopefully, but just based on technicals, if the technicals work out in our favor and we see movement, I think that we could see Roblox with a breakout here. You can see a strong lower time frame support as well, holding that up. So we have a pennant, and we're going to play that accordingly. So my alerts are set at 76.21. As well as right there, pre-market highs already retesting its gap. So I've got an alert set at 78.33, and to basically bring my attention to that just in case it runs. So UPS, curious to see, as you guys can see, we talked about how, and it is more than likely, if you guys are in UPS, probably going to get out here this morning for minimal, or if anything, zero loss or gain. 94.50, and UPS may start to see some type of rebound. Of course, on multiple time frames, it's oversold. The hourly, a little bit more of a reprieve, but the daily down here. So I guess we're going to be getting a bounce. If anything, I think we'll catch ourselves halfway, somewhere around the $200 range. As that 900 or that 9-day moving average starts to creep down here. Square is worth taking a look at here this morning as well. As you can see here, pushing that gap right now. So like I said, the gap gets filled on Square at 25 or 26 bucks basically, but 25.85. It's 9 o'clock. If this gap gets filled here in pre-market, then more than likely I would probably vacate. I don't know if anybody bought SHCR. I just got an alert on that one about 2 weeks ago. I still have that. That one's moving up here. Microsoft, guys, this one had a little gap up this morning after being really tightly consolidated. So this one could bounce out as well. 287 break. I've got my eyes peeled on that one as well. So, all right. So Tesla, yeah. I'm looking at most EVs here. I'd never like this setup, guys. I don't like to see gaps above, below, and I mean, like, looking past, look at this. So you get a gap up here, and yes, it runs, but it pulls all the way back, taking 2 whole days to do so before it fills its gap. So I don't like taking things to the upside if they have gaps. This gap's already been filled to 43, but anywhere above 43 bucks, 43.50, and we could see some nice movement. So wow, we got a lot of earnings news coming out. My news scanner is about to explode. All right. Tesla. All right. Wow. Tesla crushing that $700 mark here in pre-market, absolutely destroying it. I don't know where this blue line is coming from. Unusual. So it looks to me that Tesla is actually going to attempt the 715 range. Probably 710, 715. This one does need a pullback. Looking at the chart, you can see pretty far away, so expect a pullback at the open, I imagine. Oh, yeah, come on. Check this out. That is a rising wedge. So be careful on Tesla, guys. I'm not sure if anybody's going to end up seeing that one, but that could end up playing out in Tesla, not in Tesla's favor. So if you swung Tesla, keep an eye on a rejection around 710. 710.50, anywhere around there. That's a rising wedge that will put this thing back down into the 685 range if this plays out the way that it looks. So, alrighty. Yeah, SQ. Yeah, I was just going over SQ because of the earnings. Sorry, I just read your comments. Um, Ford, you're looking at AAL and Cliff. Okay. In fact, airlines. I'm curious to see what happens with airlines for sure. Right now, this one's using a previous support turned resistance. Hold on one second. Um, hmm. So it kind of looks like it's going for a retest, at least of that $20 mark. You're at 2030. Definitely could use a bounce here. What is pre-market looking like? That's not really great. So anywhere below here, I would look into start hedging yourself to $20. Um, Opportunity to buy shares is Apple shares during consolidation. That's weird. Anyway, below that 2035 mark, not a ton of pre-market strength here. Gonna need to see a little bit more. But 1950 between $20 a good mark. So Ford here, everybody and their mother is watching Ford. I swear the entirety of FinTwat or Twat. Wow, FinTick or Fin Twitter, whatever. Those guys, I feel like I've seen a ton of Ford calls. I imagine they're probably not too far off. This is a channel retest. So you've got this channel break, channel retest. So I imagine that Ford could see somewhere with probably the $15 mark. And that may take the entirety of the week. But it is there for bounce. It doesn't have the greatest setup, but anywhere above 1421. And I think recovery chances start to pick up quite a bit. But I'm not playing Ford. I didn't mean to. That kind of slipped out of my mouth. I didn't mean to, but that's more true than I intended it to be. I don't know what RAAS is, but they've got a weird. They got volume coming in here. BPTS. Nope, nothing there. Go to here, moving in pre-market. Nothing happening there. FGCL or Flora Group. All right, well, that's about it for me. Let's see here. I'm gonna set alert here on Tesla. Yeah, Tesla has a gap to fill below it as well, guys. I'm banking red on Tesla after a pump here in pre-market, but I could be wrong. But that's just my thoughts. So. Yeah, I meant to bring that up as well. So, Maxar, guys, is so heavily consolidated. I've not quite seen it move like this in a long time. I can't tell if people are accumulating or distributing or just keeping it down. On earnings here in 2 days, Maxar's heavy on my watch list, guys. It may not be today, but it may be just here in the next, obviously with earnings and stuff like that. But Maxar is heavy on my watch list here. Let's see here. That's about it. Roblox got alerts on that one. Roku has earnings. I talked about Roku. This one's in a channel. Expect for Roku. Honestly, I see Roku retesting the 450 level. So, anybody have any questions here this morning? Want me to go over their watch list or their charts or anything like that? Anything in particular? I do need to take a look here at SPY. So gap up here in pre-market on SPY. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw that gap get filled. Looking kind of red here already in pre-market. Yeah, I can take a look at AMD, NVIDIA Shop, and Apple. So SPY here really quickly, guys. Looks like we've got little support, smaller time frame support here. We did break out maybe a retest of 439.30 or 40 range, and then we get a bounce and a breakout around 441. 441 is the target, guys. We are very tight in this range here. We got to make a move either way, up or downside. So, by the way, Ferrari has earnings. That's RACE. As we speak, and apparently they are reporting some pretty impressive numbers, one of their best quarters ever. So, all those gurus. All right, so SPY, anyway, guys, SPY well within that channel. Just going to have to want to see a break there within this symmetrical triangle on the Qs. So Qs, quite simply, price range 257.60. Like to see a push there in order to reach those highs again around 368.85. Sorry, not 260, but 367.50. Let's see here, IWM. We talked about IWM potentially pulling back. It looks like it's going to skip that whole mess and just go for one more push back up to resistance. It is right up there. It could see one more downtick or tapering before seeing a bounce here, but I imagine that we'll have a decent week on the Russell. But remember, we are making that falling wedge, so tread lightly with pennies until we get definitive break in either direction. Whew. Yawning. Lucid. Does WBA have any promise? Eventually. Right now, it looks like it's actually bottoming out. There's been some relatively large block trades, so watch for that one to move past 48.25. ARCT here popping in pre-market apparently on news that they're making a vaccine plant in Vietnam. So keep your eyes peeled on that one.
What's the ticker, Garrett?
It's ARCT. They just dropped that news. Global healthcare information technology market to reach 880 billion by 2030.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over some pennies that I have on this list real quick.
Okay.
So this morning, guys, I posted my watch list in live trading, but not everything in there has particularly been gapped up based off of the news. Only a couple have. So EV, they're going to be doing a share bid for $5 million. It's relatively small, but it's a smaller company, so that's definitely something to watch. XCure, XCUR, shares jump early on after collaboration deal with IBSEN. This one, honestly, is more of like, if you want to take it short, I think this is a great stock to take short. I don't necessarily think this stock is going to hold up. And here's why I say that. So they're going into a research agreement. Nothing has been made. Nothing's going to the FDA anytime soon. So once this thing pops at the open, just watch it for a quick fade, and potentially set your stop loss at 191 to the upside if you're going to take it short. But I don't know. I don't think this one's going to really go long unless the diseases they're working on are really big, and I'm not familiar with the diseases they're working on, so I'm not really sure what exactly would be the time frame for something like this. DLPN, 6 Pro Football Legends lineup for unprecedented NFT drop. So DLPN is an NFT name. So I'll also be watching SJ, which is also an NFT name for a sympathy play, and also TCAT. One thing I will say, since we are entering into August, August tends to not be the best month for pennies. Pennies tend to do the worst out of any sector, really.
Well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, IWM looks like trash.
And also, we just had a large company lose $3 million on one single NFT. I'll pull up the article and drop it in the chat in a second, but I'm wondering if that could dampen NFT momentum because of the lack of security behind it and ability to like make money on a consistent basis. Because I mean, the NFT market is exploding, but just like crypto, it lacks transparency, and it lacks regulation of any kind. So not that it needs it, but someone losing $3 million on one single NFT is pretty intense. So
did somebody just steal it? Like somehow
I imagine so.
Gotcha. Yeah, post that when you get a chance, man. I'd love to give that a read. But yeah, in general, pennies tend to not be. If you guys remember, it's really bad for pennies. Historically, August tends to be like April for pennies, so you'll see a lot of just red knife candles come out of nowhere, and they'll take out like half of the movement from the prior 20 or 30 minutes to the upside. So you just have to be really, really careful. Keep your stops tight. Watch out for sympathies. Sympathies might not be as strong if volume is low. So just pay attention for that. And then I'll move on to AUTL. This company is up 16% in pre-market. They have landed a deal with Moderna. We don't know what the dollar amount is for the deal, but Moderna will be utilizing proprietary binders for up to 4 immuno-oncology targets. So it seems like it's pretty important, and these guys, AUTL, are the only ones with patent. So that's a good one to watch for sure. INIF, we traded this one last week. JP Morgan moves them from neutral to overweight, but does not provide a price target. So a good one to watch as well. Last week it did receive some price targets, but they were mixed. There was upgrades and downgrades across the board. So still a good one to watch. BSQR released their ER date. I'd have to go back and look exactly what the date is, but they released their ER date and they have very high short interest. VXRT, obviously people have sure heard this one this morning. New drug application for the Oli tablet for COVID vaccine. Candidate was cleared by the FDA. I'm still in my position. I got in fairly light this morning, just a few hundred shares at like 770, I think was my average. So definitely keeping that one on watch as well. And then nothing else that's really stood out to me so far. There's been a little bit of chatter about XELA, a potential short squeeze. I don't know. Volume looks
Timber
really
is also on the list as well.
Timber?
Yeah, which I mean, it's moving digitally right now, so I didn't see anything worth
Is that
buying, but...
Is that TMBR?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna add it to my watch list.
In RBO.
What's that stock you like, bro? It's an EV stock. I also read, as soon as I read it, all I thought of was you, and I can't remember the name of the stock. And
Lee? GP?
No. FUV. That's it.
Yeah, FUV is. I've been buying shares of FUV.
Yeah, so they're saying a potential short squeeze on that too.
That's what I've been saying for months. I said, watch, this one's will end up in the roundabout of short squeeze stocks. That's why I'm buying it. Now, I like the company, like, oh wow.
Fundamentally.
Yeah, I like the company. They need scalability, but the CEO is a good dude, as far as I can tell. The dude's definitely doesn't give up Nikola vibes. And he's mostly targeting state and citywide public services. So you're
nice.
Yeah, you're looking at not just, I would like for retail to like my vehicles. No, these are expensive ass vehicles, guys. These are $40,000 to $60,000 utility vehicles, and people are already, when they do and have had sales, they're gone. So when they have sold them, they've sold them fast, and not only have they sold them fast, the attractiveness from or the attraction from paramedics, firefighters, and there's even talk about LiDAR autonomous vehicles coming from them at some point, which could, I talked about the implications of that type of technology, being able to put somebody inside of a autonomous vehicle to get them to safety, where maybe a human couldn't, or the heat's too great, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of applications for that. And then on top of that, the only thing standing in their way is scalability, which is just in need of funding. They just need funding. They're already working on the plant. So all in all, the company, I think, does great in the future. And if a short squeeze happens, I'll take profit on every single little bit that I bought. I will not sit through, because it will fall. It will fall right back down. And hopefully, if it squeezes, we'll be able to, the company itself will be able to take advantage of it, and we can buy the dip. Real quick. Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say I feel like I've been sleeping under a rock, because I had no idea GE was doing a 1-to-8 reverse split.
I may have been under that same rock, so.
Oh my god, dude, it's trading at $103 now.
GE? Where was it trading at? What was it like?
It was like trash. It was like, I think it was like sub 10. I think it was sub 10.
More room to fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've looked at Vaxar here in the pre-market. Guys, one of the things that just popped on my watch list big time, and if you guys are taking a look at my screen, is AMD. And probably you can already tell me exactly why. So starting off of this low and ignoring the correction here, we have multiple consistent bounces here off of this trend line. And if we go and take a look at the hourly here, we can see it's starting to look like it may need to breathe. Now, and I mean, it's a bit exhausted. The volume has stayed consistently higher. And I think that if anything, it's gotten healthier pullbacks, but still stayed in its uptrend. It is at support, and here's what I'm eyeballing here. We got 10 minutes. Here's what I'm eyeballing here. We either build some type of ascending wedge, so you get one last pop, maybe to 108.50, somewhere in that range, 108.50. Then we trade a little bit flat, and then we start to pull back. My first target, now if we go above this high, I'll take a downside position at that set 107 break back into 106. I'll add below the 20 and the break of that support. My target's going to be 102 and then 101.25. So that's AMD short, guys. I also have Tesla short here. I know Georgie's probably about to punch through his screen. Citron's back from hell. Millions of league of fleet. Wow. Oh, you got it long? Well, hear me out. This is why I feel the way that I do. Pre-market, we already have a pretty gnarly bounce off that 9. Usually I would like to see like big price rises like this. And if anything, there's also this downtrend adjusting right here. If you start off this high, anytime you break a downtrend, I'm thinking a retest could happen from this rising wedge. So rising wedge reversal, maybe see Tesla retest somewhere around the 685. Is kind of where I'm banking on Tesla to pull back to, where I think that we could potentially grab the dip at that point. So 1 second, we got 10 minutes. I'll be right back.
Justin, I'm long Tesla, but I want to pull back first. You know what I'm saying? Like bounce off 690, 695, and give me a bounce there, and then I want to take it long. Vaxart is pumping.
All right. Where's my headphones? Oh, they fell. Vaxart moving here, pre-market. Is that what? Cisco is worth watching too. Let's see here. Nvidia. On semiconductors had earnings this morning. ON. They ripped. So far they've ripped pretty hard. So that one's definitely on my watch list, guys. 43.35, and I'll likely
That was a big move.
Yeah, I was actually this morning in pre-market. I was going to buy them and scalp that move because it was such a strong move. And if you look at the post earnings, guys, that is kind of what, in my opinion, the chart setting up the news or setting up the earnings looks like. When you fall and consolidate but never make a new low, you just hold that supply zone. That means people want that supply, you know. So man, Tesla 5 minute looking kind of crazy too. It does have a flag look on it, but all right, let's see.
I just want Tesla down to 695 first. Like, give me a retest of that gap.
Yeah.
And if we hold, then I'll take it long. But if we don't hold, then I'm probably not going to take it.
ASX passes 52-week high in pre-market here at $9.05. Not bad. Actually, looks pretty good. I don't know what they do though. Oh wow, huge consolidation.
What is it?
ASX just passed a 52-week high in pre-market. So did TMO, which is Thermo Fisher Scientific. They just made a brand new high. They are expensive.
Wow.
Are you waiting for a dip in price Tesla before getting calls? I'm just watching it. I don't play Tesla. The only way I play Tesla is giant support breaks to the downside, and breakouts the upside. So, if anything on Tesla, guys, I'm not expecting a huge pullback, but remember that 698 is where it's heading to right now. But look at the hourly. Just the hourly is what is moving me here. So 696, 30. I think that's where that break happens, and then 689. But guys, hey, I'm just letting you know that I am going to be totally okay with starting this week off with a lot of patience. I'm not going to allow the speculative sentiment of what could happen change my trading plan right now. I know what I see. I see some good movers, but I still feel that kind of feeling in my gut that I need to be careful and tread lightly. As a lot of things are, this is Monday where the earnings is not as exciting. You have a lot of speculation on moves that could happen. You have Roku. If you guys haven't seen, I mean, like we have a crazy earnings coming up. Those of you on YouTube,
Wow.
and on TikTok here, we have about five, not even. We got 2 more minutes, guys. We'll go ahead and hop off. But earnings, guys, the real kickoff is tomorrow. Baba, ATVI, Under Armour, Skills, Lyft, CRSR, which every single one of you guys should have an alert. Well, I'm not telling you to, but CRSR. I'm extra long on that one. In fact, here in pre-market, wow, I should have looked at that earlier. Look at the downtrend break on CRSR. Hold on 1 second. Let me double check that before I.
Oh, that's Corsair.
Corsair. Yeah, you know what though?
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I bought shares. I've been buying shares for about 3 or 4 days now, and then I have a put that I've already bought for $25 strike. But if this one rips today, watch it past $30. That's where
Setup looks nice.
The setup looks
on
great.
The 5.
Yeah, I actually really like this. The hourly looks great too because you have that 200-day moving average sitting right on top of that resistance. That lets me know that if the 200 gets broken, I can take that to the upside. So,
yeah.
All right, guys.
Looks like it's gonna start curling soon.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. Thank you guys. Oh, sorry. It's just been Zynga Pro Goog. Okay. There's your chart right there. Nice consolidation.
Morning, Georgie.
Watching a break there. Morning, Georgie.
Morning.
So basically $30 break. Alright guys, see you later. Alright, YouTube. See you guys tonight at 8:45, so peace out. Our YouTube, if you guys are looking to get in the chat, through their website, Simple Stacks Investing, so super easy now. Alright guys, have a good day. See you after hours.